Nobody wants to be a silly sizzle chest. That's why we're going to start the show and get super serious business, because nobody ever said to themselves that all they want to be is a silly sizzle chest. Nobody ever in the history of sizzle chests ever said it. Well, hello and welcome to DG360, and welcome to the year in review of sorts on Inside Star Citizen here. Now, they're going to go over 2022. We know this is the last episode. And yet, when I saw this, I got really excited today. I saw this hit, saw the notification. Those are the things that actually landed in the bell up there to the right that you see with the little finger at. Thank you, Lou. Thank you. Thank you, Luigi, for gifting Tookie. He needs that gift. Everybody gift him, for God's sake. We had a sharing moment before the Inside Star System review. We were sharing, we were caring, we were singing, and the love poured out, and we heard a lot of true stories, and they hit. They hit hard. Now we're here, and we're happy we're here. Thursday, it's our favorite day. We get to relax. And I'm telling you, I got really excited when I saw this title. I said to myself, wow. Hey, this is the last episode, year in review. We're going to go over the whole year. It's going to be a nice, big, fat episode. No, that's not true. It's only 12 minutes long. We're fitting the entire year into 12 minutes. Now, listen to me. You're just giving morphologists ammunition that nothing happened in 2022 with a 12-minute review video of the entire year of 2022. But a lot did happen. I'm a contrarian. And a lot did happen in 2022. And let's see what is mentioned tonight. Perhaps a lot of us can share about their experiences with Star Citizen as we watch this year in 2022. Tell us the favorite things that you have done, whether you're here live or watching on YouTube. Perhaps comment down below and tell us, what you guys had, your experiences that you remember playing Star Citizen in 2022. Funny, whatever. Funny, mad, sad, whatever. Just tell us.
Hello everyone, welcome to Inside Star Citizen. I'm Jared Huckabee, and this is it. It's the end of the year. The much anticipated Alpha 3.18 is being hammered away on by developers and citizen testers alike, and it's that time where we look back and reflect on many of the more memorable events and additions to the Star Citizen experience in a special episode we like to call the Star Citizen Year in Review 2022.
And we're glad to have you, Luigi.
Because sometimes you just call a thing what it is.
I love when you're on stream with us. What's up, Orson? How you doing? Whoopsie, I'm so sorry to hear about your news that you shared with us. Yep.
We'll start things off with some of the big ticket feature items, and perhaps none were bigger than the server cap increase, which saw the persistent universe population increase from 50 to 100, paving the way for things like Siege of Orison, changing the dynamic for events like Jumptown, and as you can see here, the collective re-entry of 100 simultaneous spacecraft,
awesome.
And the loudest I've ever heard the VFX team giggle. And let me tell you, they're gigglers. Player refueling also made its debut in 2022, enabling the peer-to-peer profession that allows for a new way to help your fellow citizens and make—
Wait, nothing happened. According to morphologists, nothing happened at all this year. This has to be a lie, right?
Make a buck along the way, an important step ahead for the upcoming inclusion of the Pyro system, where gas stations will be few and far between in the wide open and desolate wastes, where anarchy reigns and everyone must fend for themselves. It's basically Los Angeles on Black Friday. In addition to refueling, the arrival of mining gadgets brought another refinement to that profession, providing new and improved means for making your fortunes out in the verse, and then coming back to liquidate that and almost everything else with the new selling mechanic, allowing players to finally clear out much of what filled their inventories for profit. Why can you make so much money in video games and not in real life? That's my mom asking, not me. There were also plenty of new places to visit.
That's why I love Web3 gaming. Just saying, just going to say that.
Visit and have adventures, including a variety of new derelict spacecraft, both floating in space and crashed down on the surface of Stanton's planets and moons. These derelicts not only add to the visual texture and history of the persistent universe, they provide numerous opportunities for mission and loot gameplay as more and more continue to be added throughout this last year and the next. And the same can also be said for derelict outposts and rivers, which began with a single estuary on Microtech and continued to develop throughout the year into a watershed release included in the upcoming Alpha 318. But for me, the highlight of Rivertech has been the ascendance of Will Hain to River Guy in the YouTube comments. More hospitals were added to the persistent universe in 22, as important an aspect as any for those of us who spend most of our time waking up in medical beds rather than exploring the universe.
Happens.
It's not that I'm bad, it's just that everyone else is better. Especially at racing, in the first of several community-initiated in-universe racetracks such as the Snake Pit, which began with the XGR racing community exploding in popularity this year and an exciting initiative within development to canonize creations from the players into the persistent universe proper that will continue in the upcoming Alpha 318 and beyond.
That is cool. The connection between the developer and the gamer is paramount to the success of the project because the gamer is who's paying for the game. All right. So this connection needs to be fostered. It's very important that they have the right people in the community spots, manager spots that are actually talking to people where people feel like they're being heard, that their voices are being heard. Spectrum needs a facelift. Spectrum needs new moderation so that people actually feel connection. Toxicity needs to be dealt with and cut. Serious questions versus those with undertones of toxicity that honestly don't belong on Spectrum. That needs to be deleted and purged. There needs to be kind of like this new order in Spectrum. It's a whole new world order. I'm saying it. It's so terrible. It's become worse than Reddit. That's where I'd start. And a new effort needs to be made in creating connections with not only the veterans that have backed this game since 2014, but also the new people coming in. There needs to be a resurgence in focus on the connection. It's very important as the game grows. It keeps the revenue coming in. It keeps the hype coming. And really, the thing that brings the most hype is game development. Now, in 2022, game development has happened. You know, a lot of people would say it hasn't, but a lot of people don't know about game development and how it works on the inside in terms of the business, right? In 2023, I'm going to focus more on that. I'm going to focus on people being assigned to the right positions and being very vocal on what I think about those that are leading departments. I'm going to say if I like the work, if I don't like the work, who the gentleman is I think is responsible for that work, whether I think that person needs to be replaced or not. And it really needs to come to a head here in 2023. I want to see things start turning around and cranking. Now that we got the 100 million, we know records are being broken every single year. We know we want to make sure that the money is being applied to, correctly, that they continue to grow, that they're bringing more people in. Not always just more people. You know, these are the comments I saw in a lot of the most recent highlights from last week's stream in regards to Star Citizen, the development, the employees that are working with SIG. And we talked about how we wanted to see more resources or the money, the revenue being pushed towards the ship development team. And we talked about the importance between ship development or the symbiosis between ship development and the actual game development. And how if you're focusing too much on the ship development side of things, in terms of like the sales over and over again, it looks bad. It's not a good look. We want it automated. We want the ship pipeline to the point where concepts are coming out and flushed through and sold. And personally, when it comes to ship sales, I don't want to see ships concepts anymore. I want to see completed ships. I think that, and that's probably not going to happen, but my view is this: put the ships up when they're done. And that might motivate them. That might motivate them to actually get the ships out on market finished. I'm going to be very vocal about in 2023. Like, really, I'm not buying any more concepts. I'm not buying any more concepts. I'm going to vote with my wallet. I suggest that all my fan base does that as well. I think it's healthy for the project. I think where they're at right now with the amount of revenue that they've gotten captured, which is great. I'm happy about it. Again, 100 million this year. That's pretty fucking awesome. Okay. These are backers. These are people that are the gamers playing the game, putting out 100 million in a year's time, that is really staggering. Why is Star Citizen so successful? Well, I would say it's because it's the everything game. I've talked about this a lot in 2022. Why are the sales so high? Why is it so successful? Why is Star Citizen bringing in this attention? Now, we had a lot of big streamers in 2022 come in. We had a lot of big ones that we watched, that we reacted to, and I think that's super healthy. It brings in fresh blood. It brings in more revenue, which is why you saw the 100 million this year. I don't think anybody's talked about it in this manner before, other content creators covering Star Citizen. But I really want to get back to the root of it, and that is this. Are the right people in the right spots? I think in 2023, I'm going to be laser focused on John Crew, the ship development team, and how they go about ship sales. I really don't want ships for sale that are concepts. I want them done. And that will motivate them to get the ships done. My 2 cents, stepping off the soapbox.
And speaking of the community, much of what made Star Citizen's 2022 special was created by the community itself, including recurring events like Fight or Flight, the largest 2v2 PvP dogfighting tournament in the verse, the Hurston Hurt Locker, a battle royal event on Magda that features lots of mayhem and death where almost anything goes and precious few survive, and the classic Daymar Rally, a canonized staple that kicks off each year with a 500-kilometer race with multiple divisions and loads of ground vehicle shenanigans. And in addition to competitive events, the role-playing scene in Star Citizen continued to evolve and take notice within both the community and development teams as players utilize tools within the game to report the news, create exciting narratives, and simply bring an increased sense of immersion to life in the persistent universe. And out of universe.
And how about other streamers that actually focus on the content creators that cover Star Citizen and make more people aware of Star Citizen? Where is that? Do I get anything, Pepe? No? Just morphologists? Okay. All right. Is that how it goes? All right. But super happy for Zark there because Zark deserves that.
The Bar Citizen World Tour kicked off as CIG staff traveled to cities, states, provinces, and countries around the world to break bread and tell tales with players from all walks of life. It's been a terrific return to form and a chance for players and developers to connect that will continue throughout 2023, so be sure to keep an eye on the website and socials for details and let us know when events are happening in your area. Other notable events were the Battle of the Bricks, where the Star Citizen and EVE Online community teams came together for charity in a battle of building blocks, trivia, weird challenges, and whatever a wolffish is. It's terrible. Terrible is what wolffish is.
Poor Eve.
And then this year, CitizenCon kicked off with the official Journey to 4.0 initiative, with presentations from developers.
Wait. Moment of silence for EVE Online. Just moment of silence, please. Hold on. Just... Okay, thank you.
Exciting new gameplay systems like resource management, master modes, and investigations. The return of Chris Roberts to peel the curtain back on Squadron 42 developments that will benefit the persistent universe in the future. And we debuted the only constant, the spacecraft where ISC, SCL, and more will emanate from for the foreseeable future. And it still has a few tricks up its sleeve.
And who is talking about elevating the bar? Who is talking about putting resources and money into making the show better? Since Inside Star Citizen is the show that is the showcase show for new people to get into this. And we want these shows to be longer. We want them to be a mix of, they should. It would actually help it if they did just one show and put Inside Star Citizen with Star Citizen Live. Have you guys thought this before, or am I the only one that thinks these things? Hold on. I'm probably the only one that thinks any of these things because of my large head and my banana fountain type qualities.
I'm in a fountain.
Banana Fountain has spoken. We want Star Citizen, Inside Star Citizen with Star Citizen Live. We want one show. First off, it's going to streamline the process. It's going to make things easier for them. They do it in one day versus two. They don't need different teams or different people. They can use the same people. See, this is what I'm here for. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome, Cloud Imperium. I do this. Chris, why am I doing all the work, Chris? Thank you, Pickled Babbage. Welcome to the fam, bro. Oh, there's Mom and Zoe doing their little victory dance for you. My own family is dancing for you. How dare you make my family dance for you, Babbage? What do you think, you own my family? You do not own my family, Pickled. Get out of here right now.
We hope to show you in 2023 and beyond. But back in the verse, while the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo and Invictus continue to be highlights of the year, the biggest dynamic event in Star Citizen's history happened with the Siege of Orison, where the vicious Ninetales took control of the floating platforms surrounding Orison and waged a multi-stage battle against players in a first-of-its-kind mixture of Star Citizen's FPS gameplay systems and an impetus for numerous technological improvements to the entire game as a whole, including the server cap increase we talked about before. And this year's Ship Showdown was a chance for community members to showcase their creativity in pushing their favorite ships and vehicles into contention to be named Best in Show at this year's IAE. And you can see some of that creativity here, and here, and here. Definitely a highlight of each and every year. And speaking about ships and vehicles, let's do a rundown of all the new ones that made their way flyable and drivable in 2022, including the Hull A, Hover Quad, Mule, Centurion, STV, Scorpius,
that doesn't count.
Corsair, Cutter, and C8R Pisces. Okay. And that brings us to now, and the impending release of Alpha 318, which will add a whole lot more to this 2022 of Star Citizen highlights, including hull stripping salvage gameplay.
Oh, here we go.
You and your trusty multi-tool, reclaimer,
totally
or brand new vulture have a new means to make your fortunes.
Okay, again, and I'm going to be talking about this in 2023 a lot. Economic gameplay, right? Salvage is going to bring a lot. But really what I'm looking forward to is Tony Z getting up on camera again. I really want to talk with Tony Z. It's been years. He's working on Quantum. I want to hear any update on economic gameplay. I want to hear just an update. I don't even care if it's a couple minutes long. It doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be, you know, over 10. Frankly, Tony likes to talk. Maybe Tony can condense it down in the architect ways, indubitably getting his message across in a way. But let's keep going.
Finding and processing the remnants of space junk in the verse. This applies not only to destroyed player ships, but NPC hulks spawned throughout the Stanton system for you to discover and dismantle. The cargo refactor is here. The cargo refactor is here. Alpha 318 also brings with it the first iteration of the cargo refactor that will physicalize much of what we carry in our cargo holds and open up new avenues for cargo reclamation after disaster and potential piracy for the disaster causers of us out there. I'm looking at Tom. There's also the new PTV racetrack in Orison that aims to provide a new recreational activity for those looking for the low-stakes challenge of buggy competitions, or for the players that go out there and create emergent opportunities that I have no doubt none of us are prepared for. Can't wait to see what you do here. And the revitalization of Korea and the addition of additional sandbox prison activities, two components of an overall overhaul to the crime stat system that will be more lenient on what sends you to prison while providing new opportunities to remove crime stat before going and after escaping. 6 new persistent universe racetracks based on community creations that will bring players to several of the lesser traveled areas of the...
Listen. We want gambling in Hex on races. Make it happen. Just make it happen.
Stand system and allow them to test their mettle against others with new gateway and timer functionality being added alongside them. New Orison missions that run on the surrounding platforms when Siege of Orison is resting from all the mayhem. New sand cave archetypes in the Daymar crash site introduce the brand new Mercury and 600i derelicts being added to the persistent universe. And
What
two
is
new
going
exciting
on? Dead to Right's coming in with his Viking army, about to obliterate and slaughter us. No, he's helping us. He's fortifying. He's fortifying the fort. Thank you so much, Dead to Rights. I appreciate you so much, man. How was your stream, man? Welcome. Welcome. We're doing like a year in review. We're going to have an after party with some cool Star Citizen vids. Glad you guys made it. Glad you guys made it. Consider following. Consider enjoying the crazy.
Technological advancements this year with the implementation of the Gen 12 renderer and persistent entity streaming, which both convert the current persistent universe to new graphical and technological foundations that serve as the new basis for persistent universe's continued development, as well as set the stage for Star Citizen to realize its fullest potential in the years to come through server meshing, increased player and resource caps, and the addition of new star systems like Pyro, Nyx, and beyond. And going on right now is Luminalia, where players can log in each and every day to redeem a variety of in-game gifts, including holiday.
All right, I can't stand Pico. Pico scares the shit out of me. We don't know where we can attack this little space cosmonaut. There's no port of entry except we think maybe the little penguin bottom hole, but none of us are brave enough to go close to that. But if anybody knows how to destroy Pico, we would love that. I know it's Christmas time. I know I should be cheery and peaceful, but I really hate this thing. And even on Christmas, I hate this thing. So if anybody knows how to destroy one of those, I would be very, very, very happy and give you many creds. Because I can't stand Picos. And if you like Picos, get out of my channel right now. The departments, right? So when we're talking about where we're at and how we feel about Star Citizen, right? Like each one of you here tonight has your own vibe with Star Citizen. Some of you are completely content. You're having fun. You're playing with other people. And I'd say most of the people that are actually pretty content right now have an organization that they're playing with, or they're on the opposite side of the spectrum where they're like out doing their own solo thing, right? Like for the most part in 2022, I was pretty patient. I was a pretty patient dude. I know how game development works. And contrary to popular opinion, I do think in 2022 that progress happened. Now, again, 2023, I'm going to be like a hammer and a forge right here. I'm going to be focusing on the people that are in charge of teams. Should they be there? Are they getting things accomplished? And again, I'm going to focus on ship sales and how I think that concept ships should be a thing of the past, and the only thing that should ever come to market is a complete ship, which will motivate them to get their pipeline in order, and all of us can breathe a sigh of relief from this point forward, because I think that the concept that they have right now of concept sales ships is flawed, because overall I think it gives a bad taste or flavor. Not for me, no. I understand it. Personally, for me, I get the concept ships. I understand why they're trying to bring in cash. They're continually trying to bring in the cash, right? But that's just the business side. That's just the trader of me. As the gamer, it kind of makes me sick. You know, as a gamer, it's interesting because I always come to this from like both sides of the spectrum. As a dude who's involved with finance and business, and then a dude that's just a gamer who likes to play games, man. So I'm in a little bit of a conundrum. But like really, at the end of the day, I think that the ships should just be given or shown to be sold on the site if they are done. That might not be popular. People might not like that idea. I know Limitless and I know Limitless is down for something like that. And I think that it'll motivate them to really focus on how to automate the whole ship pipeline, really.
Sweaters, undersuits, new paints for the 100i, Avenger, and more. Remember, it is 12 days, folks. And a sextant that Ben Curtis has really wanted to get in there for a while. I mean, it's cool.
Right.
So,
that's how
what
it
did we
feels
learn this year?
Now,
well, I'd say a whole heck of a lot.
Thank you.
But at the core of it all, to me, this year seemed to be about celebrating and renewing that connection between player and developer.
Conquistador says, I come from League. It's free to play, but skins galore. They make billions. Billions. If they can find a way to transition to a similar model, they'd be solid. Oh my God. Could you imagine if they sold a concept of a skin but didn't sell the actual skin, Conquistador? I just came from League of Legends. I played a little bit today. I know I'm shaming myself. Hold on a second. I have to shame myself. I told myself I would never play again.
Shame.
I'm sorry.
Shame.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Anyway, here's the thing. I think the only way they get away with this, and the only way that Cloud Imperium actually can do something like this, is because of the way that they've modeled their business, because of how they're getting money directly from backers, and how, in essence, these concept ships, you're buying the art, right? In most cases, and you're buying it because of the promise of what it's going to be. You've seen that they can do it, but on the flip side, you have to ask yourself, like, why? Why are you continuing to do it? Are you doing it because you're supporting the game and supporting the devs and want the project to be successful? Or are you doing it for the rush, for the drug of it, and you don't even have it yet? I mean, that's something I always wonder. I would say for me, I'm not buying any more concepts. I'm done buying concepts. I'm voting with my wallet. And I'm only going to buy ships that are finished. And I want that to set a precedent, and I want to actually have a following that does the same. So really, I'm reaching out to people, and I know, like, listen, if you want to support the game by concept, who am I? Go ahead and do it. I understand why you're doing it. But let's send it like a little bit more of a message, and the best way to send it, financially, with our wallets. Always usually works. It's a great voting system. Capitalism works wonderfully. And I would urge all my followers to stop buying concepts. Just don't go for that. Don't, I get it. It's a drug, right? But take a moment and realize that if you do that, there's going to be more concepts. And then if you are the person bitching about how long it's taking for these ships to get done, it's because you've actually supported the disease. You know, you have to realize you have no right to complain then, because you're literally supporting this concept that's going to take years and years to finish, and it's adding to their workload, whereas they could just only offer you ships that are completely finished, and I think that would solve a lot of the issues. On a marketing standpoint, internally, I think it would streamline things. And financially, it would motivate them. It would motivate them to get the job done.
That's been at the heart of this project since it first launched in 2012. It's been said often, and probably by folks much better than myself, but it bears repeating over and over and over again that none of this happens without your continued involvement. Whether that's playing the game, discussing on Spectrum, reporting on the Issue Council, supporting through pledging, encouraging through Bar Citizens, creating and streaming through social media and contests and the like, or simply allowing us into your lives most weeks while we share the who we are and what we do with you through ISC and SCL and the like. It's kind of ridiculous that I get to stand here on a spaceship.
We want ISC and SCL combined. ISC, SCL. One big thing. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Banana Fountain has spoken. Banana Fountain has spoken. Thank you so much. We combined a lot of sounds right there, Pepe. That was very masterful. I like what you did.
And represent the work of over 800 strong with you. From game directors to QA testers, from major features like salvage and cargo.
It's huge. It's one of the biggest acronyms ever known in the galaxy. It's ISC, SCL. Say that 15 times fast, and I think it's going to stick. It really should only take 5 times. If it takes any longer than that, seek professional help.
Down to little internal tools like asset validators. And I can hardly wait to see what 2023 has in store for us.
Inside Star Citizen Lock. Look, Gator, you brought some banana fountain. Gator.
Banana fountain.
Gator, it's spreading. Oh my God, Gator. Wow, that's just serious business right there, Gator. You see what happens? Right, and then we have the ISCR. Or the ISCR. Is it clear yet? Is it clear? No, I didn't take the medicine yet. It's still there. All right, now let's keep watching.
This journey we're on can be exciting, rewarding, educational, consuming, and if we're being honest, a little frustrating at times. But there isn't another one remotely like it in the entire game industry, with so many dedicated to bringing this universe of possibility to life. So, for one last time in 2022,
right.
for Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee.
Okay.
Happy holidays, be safe, and we'll see you all here next year.
All right, any like Marvel. What's up, Crythor? Welcome to the fam, man. Thank you. What's up, Leaf? How you doing, my friend? Go check out Leaf. Go click on his channel. Go follow him. I love him. Great streamer. Great positive gentleman of the streams. A positive gentleman of the streams. Go over to Leaf's channel and follow him. He is I would say this. I've never talked to Leaf personally, but I will tell you this man seems very nice. You know, he might be, a murderer. There might be something going on that I'm not aware of, and I'm not responsible for that. But what I can detect and what I see on the surface, Leaf is not a murderer, at least in this realm. Okay? Damn it, I was wrong. Son of a... I got to turn my heater off, and then we're going to have the after party. Listen, you guys can hear the heater in the background. It's unprofessional. Pepe did not turn off the heater. We're going to transition to our after party mode, where you guys have selected many fine Star Citizen videos to watch as a community. But I would like to thank those people on YouTube watching that couldn't make it here live. Consider being here live. Thursday nights are my favorite days and nights together combined, whatever time zone you're in. You could be a day ahead of me. You could be a time traveler. You could be in Australia. Oi, oi, oi. That means you're a day ahead, or does it mean you're a day behind? I'm not quite sure. It's all a matter of perspective. No, it's science. All right. Guys, let's get to our after party, and we're going to have a lot of fun. If you're watching on YouTube, hit one of the phallic symbols. We love it. It's going to do something excited when you click it. It's going to clack, and you're going to be like, wow. Because some streamers will pop out of it, and you'll be like, wow, that's very sexually suggestive. I can't believe that YouTube's ever done anything like this before. They don't show likes, but when you push those phallic symbols, boy, they sure do get excited. I'm not quite sure what YouTube's trying to tell me. That they're fine with not really reporting on the actual, numbers and data, but they're fine with, like, confetti coming out of phallic symbols. I don't know. Let's get to the after party.